Welcome to the Collective 2 channel. My name is Roman, and this is one of our first videos in a series of videos slash podcasts where we interview strategy managers who use the Collective 2 platform. Today's interview is with a strategy manager named Tony. Tony chose to stay anonymous, which is why he is not using his video camera today. Before we get to today's interview, for those of you who don't know about Collective 2, it is an organization that is looking to replace the hedge fund industry with a single piece of very intuitive and transparent software. All right, on to today's interview with Tony. I hope you guys enjoy it. How you doing today, Tony?
Hi Roman. I'm good.
Awesome.
Market just closed, so
So now
I'm
we're
literally
free to go about our day, right?
yeah.
So as you can see, we have one of Tony's strategies being screen shared right now. Tony, why don't you tell us about a little bit about your background?
So my background is actually in computer science. So I graduated with a CS degree from Berkeley, and I'm currently working in the software field as a developer. But I'm currently taking a master's in data science because my interest is in machine learning and artificial intelligence. It's basically using a machine to find patterns with data that you provide the machine, and the machine will provide a decision, either long or short, in a way that humans can't.
Hmm.
And for in terms of stocks, I've been trading stocks for about 20 years, doing stocks, options, bonds, and about 2 years ago started algorithmically trading using AI. Once it seemed like I was getting successful, that's when I started the system on C2. Before that, I was also a subscriber to systems on C2.
And why did you choose to go with C2?
I actually looked at other sites, and C2 seems to be, it has a lot of strategies, a lot of varied strategies. It provides statistics. And I really like how strategy leaders can have a trade own system badge. So you know that they're actually trading their system.
Hmm.
And the hypothetical results are based on actual auto trades from subscribers. I
Hmm.
like features like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that it's extremely transparent and it's kind of a way to create a hypothetical track record of actual trade executions. So what about you? You mentioned that and of course, as we can all see, your strategies are very popular on C2. Have you done anything to promote your strategies, or the investors sort of gravitate on their own to your strategies?
I'd say it's both.
Mhm.
Of course, having a good track record is the most important thing, but there's a forum on C2. So when I first created the strategies, I made a post about it in the forum
Mhm.
and offered a discount for the first month. That's always one way to own it.
Oh, that's awesome. I actually hadn't thought of that as a possibility, but thanks for letting us know and bringing that up. Now, in terms of your strategies, could you give us like a basic overview of how you, for example, this TQQQ swing strategy works, without divulging too much of the secret sauce, so to speak?
Yeah. Okay. So there's four strategies. So this is the main one. This is um, also the main one that where I have most of my personal money in. Um, it uses AI to make a decision. So it decides to be long TQQQ, which is a triple leveraged ETF that tracks the Nasdaq, or short TQQQ by buying SQQQ.
Hmm.
So it's actually only ever long, but it goes short by buying an inverse ETF.
Yeah.
This is the equity graph of the strategy. So if you put the equity graph chart of TQQQ, it would actually be less than this and more volatile. So the goal of the strategy is to beat buy and hold TQQQ, because of course, if you can beat the strategy by just buying TQQQ and holding it, there's no reason to subscribe to this. So one goal of the AI is to beat the index, which is TQQQ, and also not necessarily just to beat it, but to be less volatile. So as you can see, it's I mean, it is a volatile strategy, but it's less so than if you just held TQQQ. Yeah, so that's basically the strategy in a nutshell. And you can see most of the time, like buys TQQ and sells it, and then buys and sells it, and then sometimes it goes short. And there's also another strategy that I have that only trades TQQ, it doesn't go short. And this strategy also doesn't, it avoids making too many day trades, so to avoid pattern day trading violations. This is for accounts that are under 25K. I also tried running the AI with SOXL, and that worked pretty well. But lately for this year, SOXL has been very unpredictable. The AI's been having issues predicting it. So it's not like doing horrible, but it's just not, doing great this year. And also there's another strategy, SOXL intraday, that tries to still get the advantages of SOXL, which is a triple leverage semiconductor ETF, but avoiding holding it overnight. And that seems to be doing okay, but it's of course volatile too, because SOXL itself is pretty volatile. So yeah, that's a summary of the strategies and methods.
So did you build your AI algorithms from scratch?
Yeah, the algorithms aren't using any off-the-shelf like stock software. So it's done in Python, and the AI models themselves are using libraries. I'm not recreating those, but the models themselves are are stuff that I came up with.
And do those models train using historical data?
Yeah. So
and how far back approximately for that training set do you use?
I don't use the entire history. Well, I don't want to divulge exactly how far back it uses, but I found an optimal, like you can use a last year's training date performance to train for the future, and that might react better to the short term. Or if you use the last 10 years, you will react more to like big crashes that might have happened in the last 10 years. Or if you only train with 1 year, you might miss those situations. But if you train the last 10 years, it might not work as well with more, how the market is currently doing, because you trained the last 10 years. So the way it does it is a little more complex. The look back period and how it combines that the advantages of a shorter look back and a longer look back. That's all stuff that that's been tuned.
Awesome. Did you have any advice for perhaps newer strategy managers or people who are looking to follow a similar path?
Yeah, I'd say just go for it. I actually started this system on C2. Here it says it started in March, but actually started in January, and it didn't do as well. And then I redid the AI to be better, and then reset the system. So that's one thing with C2 is you can make a test system to see how you would do before you actually start your system for real. Another thing I would suggest is some systems, when they lose, they make bigger bets to try to make up the loss. Don't do that. Just try to be consistent, but also of course change with the market.
So you're always adapting your algorithms?
Yeah, yeah. One thing with algorithms is, I mean, the market's constantly changing. So yeah, when I first made the system, I thought if I didn't use AI, maybe I use a system. So this applies to any strategy, like whatever method you came up with. When times change, you can still stay with your overall strategy, but you might have to tweak things slightly to adjust for like a bear market, or if the market actually just changes.
Did you want to talk about how you would manage or how you have managed your drawdowns in the past?
Yeah, a lot of times, so a suggestion for strategy managers is when you have a drawdown,
Mhm.
to maintain communication with subscribers or people simulating a strategy that
Okay.
potentially could be subscribers, to explain what happened, just
Mhm.
basically to let people know that you're on top of things and you're watching the strategy and not just like
Mhm.
um, not
Letting
not
it
actively
run.
managing it. Yeah, yeah, and also drawdowns are inevitable, so
Mhm.
don't get discouraged when you have a drawdown. If your system has alpha, if it has potential, it's going to eventually turn around.
Mhm.
Drawdowns are just a part of being a stock trader.
Definitely. Definitely. Awesome. Thanks for that little piece of advice. It's very useful for sure. I really appreciate you sharing your strategy and some valuable information. And I think that just about does it for the time we have today. So once again, thank you so much, Tony. And hopefully we'll be hearing from you in the future. And I'm certainly going to be keeping track of your strategies on C2 to see how they progress in the future. And thanks to everybody for watching. And we'll see you in the next interview.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Good talking to you, Roman.
All right. Take it easy, Tony.